Everyone, I'd like to call to order the Franklin County Board of Commissioners General Session. Today is February 9th, 2021, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner O'Grady.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As a reminder, this is a public meeting that's being recorded. We kindly ask that you maintain the same level of decorum as if we were in person meeting today. Finally, for those of you calling in, please ensure that you have muted your phone line by pressing *6. Thank you. Appreciate your cooperation. As you all know, this is Black History Month. Last week we had a great visit from our local librarian, and this week we've got a visit from someone that we all know and true and dear to our heart, along with the institution that she represents, and that's Demetrius Neely. Demetrius Neely is here to offer an overview of what's been going on at the King Arts Complex. Understandably, the arts community has faced some of the most challenging times this year and last year. We appreciate you being here to remind us that while adversity was a common thread of 2020, the King Arts Complex responded to the COVID crisis with opportunities for residents to engage and remain safe. Welcome, Demetrius, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, President Boyce. Good morning, President Boyce, Commissioner Brown, and Commissioner O'Grady. As always, it's my pleasure to be here, and thank you again for inviting me to speak. I value the opportunity to speak to the commissioners, and thank you for always supporting the King Arts Complex. You are all near to and dear to the King Arts Complex, and again, I'm just thrilled to be here to share some facts about Black History Month as well as the King Arts Complex. So the Martin Luther King Jr. Performing and Cultural Arts Complex, that's a mouthful, so we shorten it to call ourselves the King Arts Complex. But it is never lost on us that we sit here under the gaze of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, one of the greatest statesmen of our time. So who are we and what do we do? Well, our mission is we connect community through the arts. And that means we're probably a lot like you in two important ways. It's important to us that we work to improve the lives of families and children, in particular in Franklin County. I think another way we're like you is that we change lives every day. And we do it in multiple ways. One way is that we tell the story of Black life in Columbus. We preserve, we archive, and we curate these stories. And one example of how we archive, preserve, and curate these stories is the work we're doing with the Collin Post newspaper. Now, some in the audience may not be familiar with the Collin Post. I know all the commissioners are very familiar with it, but that was a Black newspaper in Columbus for decades, many decades. And the editor-in-chief and the publisher was Mr. Amos Lynch, affectionately known in the Black community as the Godfather. Because Amos told the stories of Black life. Again, these stories weren't being told in other publications. And it may be a church anniversary or a high school, all Black high school team going to the state playoffs, or the grand opening of a restaurant, or a cotillion. But these stories were important to the Black community, and he told them with pride. And when Amos died, he left those newspapers and stories, most of them to the King Arts Complex, because he knew we would do what? Preserve them, archive them, and curate them. So today we're working with the Columbus Metropolitan Library to curate all those stories, and we're just excited about it. There are people who come to the King Arts Complex for a variety of events, and they'll see those newspapers and they'll say, that's my uncle, or I remember when my grandfather told me that story. So it's important. It's important that we preserve that history. We're probably better known, though, for being presenters, performers, and producers of the arts. And one way we're doing that today is we are every day on our website in the month of February, you can go and visit kingartscomplex.com, and there'll be a fact about Black history out there. So we're edifying people about Black history every day, and we're doing that every day the month of February. But what I'm probably most excited about on Black History Month that we do every year is that we honor the name and the life and the legacy of Amina Robinson. When Amina passed in 2015, she was 75. She would be 81 this year. And Amina is, beloved by this community, and we loved and still love her so much, and we miss her to this day. Her first art studio was at the King Arts Complex, so it is important and an imperative that we continue to honor her legacy. But Amina, again, when she died, we vowed to keep her legacy alive. So every year we celebrate her birthday, February 18th. So the Saturday following her birthday or the Saturday of her birthday, we'll have an all arts event at the King Arts Complex. Amina was about community and the arts. She wanted the community to be honored, and she wanted artists to have a place to do art. So we honor her by doing those two things. A sneak peek at this year's event, but I'll tell you a little bit about how they typically are. Typically, they're in person with hundreds of kids and hundreds of people coming to the King Arts Complex for all arts. And when I say all arts, the King Arts Complex is the curator of all genres, whether it's visual, performing, theatrical, literary arts. And so on Amina Robinson Day, artists of all genres come and they do their art. Again, that was Amina's was set on artists having a place to do art. But this year's event, of course, will be virtual. And I'm going to give you just a sneak peek. This is going to be an exciting day. February 20th, noon to 1, log onto our website. And I can also send the link to the commissioners if anyone out there wants the link. But just a sneak peek at next Saturday, 2 Saturdays from now event. It will be a tour of her home. And you may know her home's been turned into an artist residence. And so the artist who's in residence will give us a small tour and talk about the work he's doing. And then it's an immersive day, but one other thing that's going to happen that day is the art. If you've been to the King Arts Complex, we have these large pieces of Amina's art, and our resident artists will do a theatrical performance of her work. So it's the art coming alive. So it's going to be pretty exciting. So that's one example of how we produce, perform, and present art. And then, we're history makers. People think history is something that happened a long time ago, but you are making history every day. So people are making history every day. And one thing I'm really, really proud of that we have at the King Arts Complex is something for our young people, especially teenagers. And I want to thank the county commissioners publicly because you funded this program. But for your funding, we would not be able to do this. We have a program right now, and again, right now our kids, are at risk. It's just a tough time for kids. But we have a teen making fun program where we're in the 3rd year of kids making short films. Very exciting because these films are in their own voice, their lived experiences, and they do everything from writing the script to choosing the cinematography to the costumes to the location. They run the camera, they choose the lighting, they do everything from nuts to bolts. And a local filmmaker is hired to teach them the art of filmmaking. And it's just a really exciting piece that they're doing. And what we like about it the most is that it's STEM, it's literacy, it's leadership development, it encourages team building, civic mindedness, and self-efficacy. Again, proof positive that history is being made every day. And then the final thing I'll talk about is how we rose above the pandemic in 2020. So of course we dealt with multiple pandemics and we still are dealing with multiple pandemics. And so here's some of the ways that we rose above the pandemics in 2020. We were a voter registration site. In fact, we registered over 400 voters this past summer. We were a COVID-19 testing site. We hosted at least 4, maybe 5. I haven't got the statistics on that, but I think we hosted 5 COVID-19 testing opportunities. We provided PPP to the community. We provided an outdoor space for artists to perform their art. And we partnered with COGO bike sharing to equip the King Arts Complex with a bike sharing installation, which provides people with an inexpensive way to get around the city and to deal with some of the insecurities that all of us are dealing with. And the last way that we rose above the pandemic is something that, again, is near and dear to my heart, something called the Heart of Protest. So out of the tragedy of George Floyd's death, Mr. George Floyd's death, came an opportunity for the arts to protest. And so we convened something called the Heart of Protest, Heart, A-R-T in it. And all the local arts organizations and some regional and at least one out of state joined us. Over 30 arts organizations joined us to protest through the arts, what we saw happening this summer. And so out of tragedy came an agency to hire artists and protest through the art. And through that, we hired over 70 individual artists. It started Juneteenth. Our initial thing was that it would go through Election Day, but it is ongoing because we still have a lot to say. With that, I will stop and ask you if you have any questions of me. If you don't, thank you for the opportunity to speak today.
I know Commissioner Brown is a little, doesn't have her full voice today. So I know she probably wants to say something, but probably can't. So when I'll let Commissioner O'Grady say a few words, and then I'll speak. I think if it's okay with Commissioner Brown, I'll speak for she and I, but I know she wants to say something she lost her voice pretty much today.
Well, Ms. Neely, thank you for being with us today. The King Arts Complex is so important to our community and all the work that you guys do there. And, it's shocking. I mean, we haven't been there in so long with the pandemic, but it's a great facility, and it's wonderful, all the work that you guys do for the community. And it sure is a gem, and we appreciate everything that you guys are and everything that you guys represent for the community.
Thank you.
Mr. Brown, was I okay to speak for you, or did you want to try to say something? Okay, I know she wants to. I could see it in her eyes.
Marilyn and I had a very one-sided phone conversation over the weekend. She tried, but she.
Hey, Marilyn, I've got a few things I need to talk to you about. I'm gonna just. This is the perfect time. You can't talk. I'm gonna go for it. First of all, let me say. What people don't know about Demetrius Neely is that she's actually a walking legacy too. She's been heading the King Arts Complex for quite some time now. But before she was the head of the King Arts Complex, she was a very accomplished attorney in Central Ohio. And she's probably forgotten about those days now that it seems so long ago, but she was a very well-known attorney, had a long career with Nationwide and various other institutions. And that too is a part of Black history and Black legacy in Central Ohio. But you mentioned three people that I just want to bring up. One, certainly who the facility is named after. His legacy continues to ring loud and clear in all of us. And it's our job, it's our duty and our responsibility to continue that legacy, whether it's through arts and culture or through civil rights or through policy work that we do here at Franklin County. And then the two other people you mentioned, Amina Robinson, which is an icon for not just arts in Central Ohio, but internationally. Every time I walk into an institution and see one of her artworks, whether it's in Cleveland, Cincinnati, I've been in other states and seen it, you recognize her art the minute you see it, and you don't have to look for the signature to know that's an Amina Robinson piece. I'm not very artistic in that way, but I know her work. And when I see it, I know that's Amina Robinson. And that says a lot about her legacy, because it transcends, no matter what level of art enthusiast you consider yourself to be, her work is recognized and appreciated by everybody. And then finally, Amos Lynch. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the late Amos Lynch and how much he is a part of the legacy and history of Central Ohio. My very first meeting with Amos Lynch really set the tone for how I would serve in public office, because I remember going to see him in his office and talking about how I wanted to be on Columbus City Council. And I'm going on and on and on like I always do. And he promptly fell asleep while I was talking. And it was just, he and I in the office together. And so I knew from that point on, I need to watch how I talk and what I say. I haven't quite gotten it down yet, but nonetheless, he was an icon for the history and the legacy of Central Ohio, the arts complex, and so much that is Black Central Ohio, and in many cases, Black Ohio. And so thank you for what you represent. Thank you for what the King Arts Complex does. And I can tell you as a commissioner, we have a lot of complex things that we do. But then there are those things that are very simple to us and how we spend resources, how we expend resources in the agencies we put those funds towards. I can tell you that with the King Arts Complex, it's always a unanimous, not even discussed. I should say not discussed, but barely discussed. It's not an agency that we have to worry about or question our investment. It's something that we all appreciate and value, and will always consider it as much a part of Franklin County's history as it is Black history. So thank you so much for being here, Demetrius, and keep up the great work.
Thank you so much.
Marilyn, did I say what you were going to say?
Almost. I just want to add the work you do with children to make sure that they understand the history is equally important. So thank you for that as well. And thank you for everything you do, because the King Arts Complex is the heart of the cultural community in the Black community. And we appreciate that so much. It's so important. We don't forget that.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown. And thanks, Demetrius, for joining us today. God bless and have a great day. Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to keep moving here. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of January 26th, February 2nd, 2021 general sessions, the February 4th, 2021 briefing session, and the February 1st and 3rd, 2021 administrative briefings?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Thank you. The minutes have been approved.
Thank you. Engineer.
Resolution number 90-21. Resolution approving street, storm, and water improvement plans for the farms of Jefferson, Phase 7, 8, and 9, Jefferson Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Good morning, Commissioners. On behalf of Engineer Robertson, my name is Fritz Crozier, Chief Deputy of Engineering. Commissioners, as noted, our first resolution seeks approval of the street, storm, and water improvement plans for the farms at Jefferson Phases 7, 8, and 9 subdivision. This development is located in northeast Franklin County in Jefferson Township along Clark State Road between Babbitt Road and Dixon Road. This resolution authorizes plan signature, which will allow the developer to begin installing the necessary infrastructure for the development of the subdivision. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
Move approval. If there are no questions, I'll move approval of resolution 90-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 90-21 has been adopted.
Hey, Dean, is it an issue if I second the votes? Is to give Marilyn, to give Commissioner Brown that break? Would that be an issue if I did the seconds?
Commissioner, it's at your prerogative.
Commissioner Brown, would that help any if we did it that way? Yeah, why don't we do it that way? I'll just move into second, except for the abstention, of course, that I've got at the end. But otherwise, I'll look for the second for me.
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right, we'll keep moving. Next is the drainage engineer.
Resolution number 91-21. Resolution authorizing a transfer of funds for the stormwater management program.
Commissioners, as noted, our second resolution authorizes a transfer of $943,687 from the general fund, Fund 1000, to the Stormwater Management Fund, Fund 2095, to cover operating and capital improvement expenses for the drainage engineer for the first half of 2021. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
Is there a motion?
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of resolution 91-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown? Resolution number 91-21 has been adopted.
Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 92-21. Resolution authorizing general fund support to the Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District for calendar year 2021.
So we have a public hearing. Can the clerk please read the public hearing notice?
Sorry, Commissioner. Resolution regarding ordering the county engineer to prepare plans, specifications, estimates, and assessments for the improvement of the, you know what, Commissioner, I apologize. The public hearing is respective of Resolution 9321, not 9221.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Nope, I'm
Did
sorry.
I mess that up? Okay.
So 9221 is the resolution for Franklin Soil and Water. And I believe that's why Ms. Fish is on today.
Okay. My apologies. I think that was on me.
Commissioners, this resolution authorizes the annual contribution to Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District from the general fund in the amount of $589,100 for support of soil and water, assists in the advancement of initiatives including education, outreach, and technical programs for stormwater runoff to the many residents in the region. As mentioned, Ms. Fish, Director of Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District, is with us this morning, and I'd like to give her the opportunity to speak on this resolution.
Thanks. Good morning, Commissioners. As you know, we're entering a great time of challenge and change with the pandemic, and climate change is also more evident each year as we continue to see record temperatures and rainfalls in Franklin County, along with declining bird and pollinator populations nationwide. These realities are shaping our work. This past year, some accomplishments that we're proud of is we're continuing stormwater programming and service support to 24 communities in Franklin County. We finished the restoration on 200 acres of our Hell Branch Meadows property, which we were able to retain in 2008 with your support. We're partnering with SWACO on composting workshops and Metro Parks on water quality monitoring. And we did secure $25,000 in private donations for future conservation project funding. Some things we look forward to in 2021 with your support. Continue to provide programming and support to Franklin County Stormwater Permit. We are working with City of Columbus to expand participation in conservation programs to targeted communities for equitable engagement. We're continuing to build our virtual programming platforms to support education in schools and in communities during the pandemic and after, making our programs more accessible. And we're continuing to expand public outreach and conservation projects through the implementation of our strategic plan. Coming up, some things you might find of interest is our annual conservation mini grants. Deadline is February 28th. And here we provide small grants to local communities on conservation projects, ranging from installation of rain gardens, native plants, gardens, or stream bank restoration. We also have our annual spring tree sale promoting the planting of trees and native plants, and orders for this are due on March 28th. And then finally, our community backyards program with the education and $50 rebates for residents who install rain barrels, compost bins, or native plants, and this will open on May 1st. And I will say that last year, and I predict this year with everybody staying at home, the participation in our programs has increased. You can get information about all of our programs at franklinswcd.org, or people are always welcome to call our office at 614-486-9613. And most importantly, thank you so much for your support and leadership this past year.
And thank you, Ms. Fish. Long time no see. I think it's been a couple of weeks now. So good to see you again. Is there a motion?
If there are no questions, I will move approval of Resolution 9221.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, resolution number 92-21 has been adopted.
Now we have a public hearing. Clerk, can you please read the public hearing notice?
Thank you, Commissioner. Resolution regarding ordering the county engineer to prepare plans, specifications, estimates, and assessments for the improvement of the Deaver Ditch Watershed, Brown Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Is this Robin's a ditch? Is Deaver ditch? Get it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Nobody. Robin got that. I'm sure if she's listening, Robin got that one. I'd like to open the public hearing for this resolution. Is there anyone here in the audience who would like to speak to the public hearing notice? Okay, seeing that there are none, I'd like to close the public hearing and have the clerk read the resolution into the record.
Resolution number 93-21. Resolution ordering the county engineer to prepare plans, specifications, estimates, and assessments for the improvement of the Deaver Ditch Watershed, Brown Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Commissioners, the drainage engineer has put together a presentation on this hearing, and we are prepared to present at this time if you are interested in further information.
Commissioners, I'd also note I have the slides that I'm happy to forward to your respective offices if you would prefer that instead.
I'll be okay with that. Commissioner Grady, Commissioner Brown?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep. Next, Commissioner Grady, we're going to name a ditch after you. Since we got one after Robin, we're going to name one after you next.
All right. If there are no, I will move approval of resolution 93-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown in the affirmative. Thank you. Resolution number 93-21 has been adopted.
Office of Aging. Thank you.
Resolution number 94-21. Resolution authorizing a grant contract extension between the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging and Franklin County Office on Aging for services under the National Family Caregiver Support Program in the amount of $107,545.92.
Good morning, Commissioners. The resolution authorizes a contract extension with the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging, who is approved by the Ohio Department of Aging to administer the National Family Caregiver Support Program, sanctioned by the Title III-E of the Older Americans Act reauthorization of 2006 to support the informal caregiving efforts of families. The Franklin County Office on Aging was awarded grant funding to provide caregiver information and services in Franklin County. The total amount awarded was $306,230 for the period of January 1, 2020 to December 31, 2020. The Office on Aging now desires to extend the contract for caregiving efforts of families. This is a 3-month contract extension and is in effect from January 1, 2021 through March 31st, 2021, will not exceed $107,545.92. Pending no questions, I will ask for your approval.
Well, if there are no questions, I will move approval of resolution 94-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown in the affirmative. Thank you. Resolution number 94-21 has been adopted.
Thank you. Community partnerships.
Resolution number 95-21. Resolution authorizing various community partnership grant agreements for calendar year 2021 in the amount of $5,992,410.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dana McCrary, Administrator for Community Partnerships. I am pleased to be with you this morning to bring this resolution forward that would provide funding for 25 community partners, and our grants range in size from $22,000 with a small organization, Prevent Blindness Ohio, all the way up to $1.8 million, and that is to provide funding for Columbus Public Health with their work in treating and preventing tuberculosis here in Franklin County. So many of the proposed outcomes for our grantees this year do align with the blueprint for reducing poverty in Franklin County. And some of the work that our partners will be engaged in this year are increasing access to healthcare and life-saving medications, providing food access, and workforce development. So if there are no questions, I would respectfully request the approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 9521.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 95-21 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 96-21. Resolution awarding a service agreement between the Board of Commissioners and the Community Shelter Board to develop and implement strategies that decrease homelessness in Franklin County in the amount of $5,489,390.
Morning, Commissioners. Mark Paxson, Economic Development Planning. This resolution is a community partnership contract. It's funded with general fund conveyance tax dollars. The resolution will support the development and implementation of homelessness prevention strategies to decrease the number of homeless in Franklin County. The purpose of the program is to stabilize individuals and families' lives and culminate in their securing permanent housing. The Community Shelter Board's 2020 Outcomes Report is attached to this resolution, and pending any questions, I respectfully request approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 9621.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 96-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 97-21. Resolution entering into a funding agreement with the Affordable Housing Trust to create more affordable home ownership and rental housing and to strengthen neighborhoods within Franklin County in the amount of $3,400,000.
This resolution is also a community partnership contract, as well as funded with general fund conveyance tax dollars. The resolution will support the creation of more affordable home ownership and rental housing in the county. Therefore, it will serve as a resource to strengthen Franklin County neighborhoods. In the previous year, the trust created preserved 166 units at 30% of the area median income and 628 units at 31 to 80% of the AMI, again, area median income. Affordable Housing Trust was created as an independent non-for-profit entity in 2001 by both the county and the city. And again, pending any questions, I respectfully request approval of this resolution.
If there are no further questions, I will move approval of Resolution 9721.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 97-21 has been adopted.
Next is Emergency Management Agency.
Resolution number 98-21. Resolution authorizing an amendment to the Memorandum of Understanding with the State of Ohio Multi-Agency Regional Communications System.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Young, representing Franklin County Emergency Management and Homeland Security. Before you is a resolution amending our previously approved and executed agreement with the State of Ohio DAS MARCS radio system. This agreement initially called for a one-year term with annual renewals. The State of Ohio has now requested to amend this agreement to an initial two-year term with two-year annual renewals to coincide or be consistent with the state biennium budget. No other terms of this agreement are being amended, and this amendment has been reviewed by the prosecutor's office. I'll gladly answer any questions and ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 9821.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 98-21 has been adopted.
Thank you. Justice Policy Programs.
Resolution number 99-21. Resolution authorizing a contract extension with Mighty Crow Media for consultant services related to implementation of the fiscal year 2018 Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration Medication-Assisted Treatment Prescription Drug and Opioid Addiction Grant Program in the amount of $30,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Courtney Benner with the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. Our resolution this morning requests your approval of a contract extension with Mighty Crow Media in the amount of $30,000 for consultant services under our 2018 SAMHSA Medication Assisted Treatment Grant Program. The original contract was awarded with the option to extend for up to 2 additional 1-year periods upon your approval, commissioners, and subject to the availability of funds. Our agency has since secured additional funding through SAMHSA to sustain program services, and we are requesting an additional 1 year at this time. Mighty Crow has successfully met all terms of their original contract through providing technical assistance, subject matter expertise and training, and evaluation services, all of which have allowed our agency to further enhance and expand the quality of services we're providing to justice-involved individuals in our Pathways program. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 9921.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 99-21 has been adopted.
Public Facilities Management.
Resolution number 100-21. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with Counsel Incorporated, doing business as MCOR Services Automated Controls, to perform building controls activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center continuation phase 2A in the amount of $1,017,620.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director, Public Facilities Management. Also joining me today on this snowy day is COO Vivian Alexander. The first 6 resolutions for your consideration are associated with the construction of the continuation phase of the new Franklin County Correction Center. The Correction Center construction project has an established small and emerging business enterprise SEBE aspirational goal of 12%. This project remains on track to exceed the aspirational goal with an SEBE commitment of 23.94%, approximately $52.6 million as of January 31st of this year. This resolution awards a contract to DeBraw Kemple, DBA, MCOR Services Automated Controls, to perform building controls activities such as control devices, sensors, control dampers, etc. 1 bid was received. DeBraw Kemple has offices in Columbus and Cincinnati. DeBraw Kemple is signatory to IBEW Local 683 and Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 189. DeBraw Kemple has committed to 4.7%, approximately $50,000 diversity participation from 1 firm on its SEBE utilization plan. There is limited participation at this point due to the specialty nature of the building automations trade. However, DeBraw Kemple is working with the construction team to seek additional SEBE participation. 6 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. DeBraw Kemple has demonstrated it has the capacity, experience, and ability to complete the required work. The project owner's representative, Pizzuti Solutions, and the project construction manager, Gilbane Smoot, are supportive of this contract award. Pending any questions, this agency recommends the award of the contract to perform building controls activities to DeBraw Kemple, Inc.
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of 121.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 100-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 101-21. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with ESI Incorporated to perform electrical activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center continuation phase 2A in the amount of $12,518,580.
Good morning, Commissioners. This resolution awards a contract to ESI Incorporated to perform electrical activities such as all wiring, switchgear, fire alarm system, etc. 3 bids were received and ESI was the low bidder. ESI is headquartered in Cincinnati and has a local office in Grove City. ESI is signatory to IBEW Local 683, Iron Workers Local 172, and Operating Engineers Local 18. ESI has committed to 12%, approximately $1.55 million, diversity participation from 1 firm on its SEBE utilization plan. 36 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. Pending any questions, PFM recommends the award of this contract to perform electrical activities for the continuation phase to ESI Incorporated.
There aren't any questions. I'll move approval of resolution 10121.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 101-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 102-21. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with Farber Corporation to perform plumbing activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Corrections Center Continuation Phase 2A in the amount of $4,982,000.
This next resolution authorizes a contract agreement with Farber Corporation to perform plumbing activities such as piping, plumbing fixtures, etc., associated with the Correction Center continuation phase. One bid was received. Farber is a local firm, and 12 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. Farber is signatory to Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 189 and Insulators Local 50. Farber is a certified LEDE, local economically disadvantaged enterprise. So there is 100% diversity participation with this contract. The project owner's representative and the project construction manager are supportive of this contract award. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I will move approval of resolution 10221.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 102-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 103-21. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with Farber Corporation to perform HVAC activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center Continuation Phase 2A in the amount of $7,793,000.
This resolution authorizes a contract agreement with Farber Corporation to perform HVAC activities such as piping, valves, fans, pumps, etc., associated with the continuation phase. 2 bids were received and Farber was a low bidder. 20 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. Farber is signatory to Sheet Metal Workers Local 33, Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 189, and Insulators Local 50. Farber is a certified LEDE, local economically disadvantaged enterprise. So there is 100% diversity participation with this contract. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of resolution 10321.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 103-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 104-21. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with Counsel Technologies Company, LLC to perform communications activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center Continuation Phase 2A in the amount of $1,616,000.
This resolution awards a contract to Counsel Technologies Company, LLC to perform communications activities such as all grounding, cabling, network equipment, AV systems, etc. 3 bids were received. Counsel Technologies was the low bidder and is an established local firm. Counsel is signatory to IBEW Local 683 and has committed to 12%, approximately $194,000 diversity participation from one firm on its SEBE utilization plan. 8 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. Counsel Technologies has demonstrated it has the capacity, experience, and ability to complete the required work. The owner's representative and the construction manager are supportive of this contract award. Pending any questions, PFM recommends the award of the contract to perform communications activities for the continuation phase to Counsel Technologies Company, LLC.
Excuse me, if there are no questions, I'll move approval of resolution 10421.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 104-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 105-21. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with SA Communal Company Incorporated to perform fire protection activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center, continuation phase 2A, in the amount of $997,888.
This resolution awards a contract to SAE Communal Company Incorporated to perform fire protection activities such as piping, sprinkler heads, values, etc. One bid was received from SA Communal Company Incorporated. Is headquartered in Barberton, Ohio, with a local Columbus office. SAM Communal is signatory to Local 669 Sprinkler Fitters. SAE Communal has committed to 12%, approximately 129, diversity participation from one firm on its SEBE utilization plan. 6 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. SA Communal has demonstrated it has the capacity, experience, and ability to complete the required work. The project owner's representative, Pizzuti Solutions, and the project construction manager, Gilbane Smoot, are supportive of this contract award. Pending any questions, this agency recommends the award of the contract to perform fire protection activities for the Correction Center continuation phase, the SA Communal Company Incorporated.
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of resolution 105-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 105-21 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Resolution number
Thank you.
106. Resolution number 106-21. Resolution authorizing recycling of information technology equipment declared obsolete by the Franklin County Automatic Data Processing Board.
Monthly, this agency is asked by the Data Processing Board to assist with the disposal of obsolete surplus IT equipment. We do so in a manner consistent with this board's commitment to promote sustainable principles in our policy decisions and programs. Pending any questions, we request your approval.
Move approval of resolution 106-21.
Second. Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 106-21 has been adopted.
Thank you so much for your time. Stay warm and safe. Thanks.
You too. All right, next we have purchasing.
Commissioners, before reading the purchasing resolution, I'd like to note to the commissioners that the agenda amount for the proposed resolution is incorrect. However, the published materials within the resolution itself, and the materials supporting that resolution are correct. There's a $2,850 difference between the agenda and the resolution. And I just want to notate again that the materials that you have in your packet for the resolution itself are accurate. So the agenda is factually, it's factually correct. Okay. So I will read the correct amount into the record. Resolution number 107-21, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $21,738,796.07.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry-Valanier, Director of Purchasing. Thank you, Clerk Kindenlang, for providing that clarification. I offer my apologies to the board for the confusion caused by that oversight. As accurately reflected in the resolution packet, this resolution requests your approval of 144 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. This week, 7 out of 14 eligible POs totaling $4,137,256 are being presented for award to 1 women business enterprise, 2 minority business enterprises, 2 small and emerging business enterprises, 1 local economically disadvantaged business enterprise, and 1 veteran business enterprise. These represent 50% of the eligible PO volume and 99% of the eligible PO dollar value. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions or comments, I will move approval of resolution 107-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 107-21 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Next is Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 108-21, resolution authorizing a contract with Eastman and Smith to serve as special counsel to the commissioners regarding pending litigation as needed during 2021.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Long, Deputy Administrator. This resolution authorizes the County Administrator to enter into an agreement with the law firm of Eastman and Smith for pending litigation matters. This resolution is supported by the Prosecuting Attorney's Office, and Joe Durham from Eastman and Smith is here as well. Should you have any questions? Pending any questions, would recommend approval of this resolution.
There are no questions. I'll move approval of resolution 108-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting. Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, thank you. Resolution number 108-21 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Resolution number 109-21, resolution reappointing Wayne Herrera and Tom Freeze to the Franklin County Parks and Recreation Board of Trustees.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of these reappointments.
Wayne Herrera and Tom Freeze have both been great. Both former ball players, minor league ball players. I think Wayne actually had spent some time playing. Mr. Herrera spent some time playing for the Yankees at one point or another in his career. Both of them, though, are both former minor league ball players, successful businessmen, and great members of the Clippers board. So I will, if there are no further comments or questions, I'll be happy to move approval of resolution 109-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting. Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. In the affirmative, Commissioner Boyce.
Abstain.
Resolution number 109-21 is adopted with Commissioner Boyce's noted abstention.
Thank you, Commissioners.
That concludes our regular agenda. Do we have any journalizations, Dean?
No, Commissioner.
Okay. Well, that concludes our meeting for today. Thanks so much for joining us. Happy Black History Month, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.